Morning. It's like summer out here now. It's above 30, I think. It was a beautiful, colorful sunrise this morning with pinks and purples and blues, and we're still snow covered here, but probably by the end of the day, it's going to be, a lot of it's going to be it's going to be melting. So that's where we are right now on December 28th, 2022. And I read Revelation chapter 19. We're almost done. And this vision that continued on, we're shifting from Babylon to the wedding feast of the Lamb, and an angel and some praise being sung, and then given an image. John is overwhelmed and he falls down even at the feet of the angel and starts to worship the angel, and the angel says, "No, don't do that. I'm a fellow servant with you, who is believing the testimony of Jesus, but worship God only." And depending on which translation you read, the word only may or may not be there, but it's just worship God. The spirit, Jesus's testimony was the spirit of prophecy. So I just camped there. There was a whole nother section of the vision with a horse on a rider, with white clothing. The whiteness of the clothing represents the purity of the believers and their good deeds. And that's in the Feast of the Wedding. Now the figure on the white horse, who's followed by lots of other figures with white horses too, but this one specifically talks about him having a title called the Word of God, eyes of flame, a tongue that's like a sword with fire across his legs. I guess on his robes, written King of all kings. So this is supposed to, I think, represent the Christ figure, or Christ. And his name is Faithful and True. But he also has a name that we don't know, that only he can pronounce. So there's that too. So this whole scene of a horse, a rider on a white horse, followed by an army of white horses and riders, and kind of doing battle against the seven-headed beast, feasting and gorging on dead bodies of people that worship the statue, all that kind of stuff. But I'm camping on the first part of Revelation 19 and those words of worship God only, or worship God. And that Jesus was a messenger, a testimony, which I think that's what he consistently referred to himself as. And was here to show a way. He was a messenger of a way. And then when we go back to the word God itself, which just represents the creator, we've got to refer to it as something. So God, consciousness, the creator, the being that puts all of this in motion. And we've used the word love a lot along the way, and not just you and me, but in the Bible, that's a word that's often referred or substituted for the energy, the quality of love, like God's love, that all-encompassing, just love. So worship love. And the word worship itself means adoration, which is another word for love. I adore you. I love you. And now I'm kind of oversimplifying it when you look in there. Worship is specifically like adoration of a deity. But love. Just love and love and love and love. Like, that is sort of the message of the Bible overall. And there it is again in Revelation 19. Look how beautiful this is. To be in love with love and light is often another concept, the energy of light in the darkness. Light overcomes darkness, that the feelings that we have that are not loving, that are like fear and the ego-driven, pride, lust, greed, like all the deadly sins are constricting. They cause darkness. So there's a lot of feelings that we know, and we know how they make us feel: expansive, loving, light. Light is so meaningful too, because it's how we see, not just like literally, but metaphorically as well. It's how we see and understand things. And we misunderstand things and can misinterpret depending on our state of mind, our state of consciousness. And when feelings like fear and, all the deadly sins are in the driver's seat, we can often fall into darkness and misunderstanding real quick, versus being open, letting the light in, even into the darkness, into the dark corners. That's how we transcend, and when we acknowledge all parts of ourselves, all of the world, bring all of that into the light. When we keep it in the dark, it has more power. So I kind of went off in a tangent about this, but that I didn't really, sometimes I don't know what's going to come out when I start talking. But that concept of worshiping God, and the testimony of Jesus that points to the truth and faithfulness of God, of love. That love is the guiding force that brings harmony and to the full experience for the human, that is peaceful, that is good, that helps us to be good to other people, be good to nature. It's all about love. And Jesus had a really good, he was a messenger. He was a testimony in and of himself of God. So anyway, things to ponder, of course, as we head into wrapping up this year of reading this amazing book. The whole library of the Bible. It's a library of books. I've read a whole library this year of books of wisdom and truth and teaching, and how it's a life manual, y'all. You should really read it. Do yourself a service, because it helps you to live a good life. It gives you all the things that you need to be working on and doing, but you got to be still, and live life in a new way. In order to experience life in a new way, you have to live it, walk it out in faith. Don't come to the Bible with a predetermined set of beliefs. I did do that, but I also let myself be open to whatever God had to say to me, and whatever, wherever it would take me. I was an open vessel, humble, trying to be humble, working on being humble every day, but trying to forget everything I thought I knew and being open. And boy, I learned a lot of things that were quite opposite of what I've learned in church. Go figure. We've become modern day Pharisees. Much of the church has. But that's we're people. We're humans. And no matter, even when you believe and you think you're trying to be good, that's even a trap in and of itself. The more you try to be good, the less good you'll be. It's about having faith in love, faith in life, faith in light, faith in our journey here on earth, and just being in love with it all, worshiping, and not the things of the world, but of life, the experience of life as a human, and just the mystery and wonder and awe of it all. What a trip. All right, see you all tomorrow.